When your cat sleeps with you, do you really know the message they're trying to send? Yes, it's adorable, but behind that closeness, there's a deeper meaning most people miss. It's one of the most emotion-packed things your cat can prep, and if you're getting it wrong, like most other cat owners, you might be missing messages they've been trying to send for years. Let's start with the 12 real meanings of that nightly ritual, and stick around until the end for the most surprising cat fact of all. 1. It's never about keeping warm. So why does your cat really sleep with you? Most people assume it's simple. Cats get cold, you're warm. End of story. But here's the problem. Cats are incredibly resourceful when it comes to finding warmth. Sunbeams, heaters, or freshly dried laundry. If warmth was all they wanted, they'd have plenty of options. So why do they keep choosing you? Because sleep is when a cat is at its most vulnerable. Every instinct they have screams at them to find somewhere hidden, somewhere safe, where no predator can reach them. Instead, they walk past every quiet corner in your house and climb into bed with a human 15 times their size. It's not about temperature. It's a level of trust most cat owners never fully realize. A study on animal cognition found that cats form attachment styles with their owners similar to how infants bond with their caregivers. When your cat chooses to sleep beside you, they're telling you something they can't put into words. You make me feel safe enough to completely let down my guard. And by the way, if your cat suddenly stops sleeping with you, don't ignore it. We'll get into what that really means at the end, and it's something most cat owners wish they'd understood sooner. 2. Every sleeping position is a message. Does your cat curl up in a tight ball, sprawl out like they own the bed, or sleep with their back to you? Each of these postures is telling you something different. Let's start with the curled ball. This is the most protective position a cat can take. It shields their belly, tucks in their paws, and keeps all their vital organs hidden. If your cat always sleeps like this, they might feel safe enough to be near you, but not safe enough to fully let go. It's trust with a layer of caution. Now for the full sprawl. Legs outstretched, belly exposed, maybe even on their back. This is the ultimate sign of security. A cat that exposes its belly is a cat that completely trusts that nothing bad will happen to them in your presence. They've shed every survival instinct that tells them to be on guard. What about when they turn their back to you? Some cat owners take this personally. Don't. In the cat world, turning your back on someone means you trust them so much you don't need to watch them. It's actually a compliment. And then there's the full contact press. When your cat sleeps pressed tightly against you, sometimes wedged into impossible spaces, it's the strongest statement of all. They want zero distance between you. It's not clinginess, it's devotion. 3. They're mixing their scent with yours. Ever notice your cat pressing their head or body against you right before they drift off to sleep? That's not a random cuddle, it's chemistry. Cats have scent glands along their cheeks, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they rub against you, they're leaving behind invisible markers. But here's what most people don't realize. When your cat sleeps snuggled up against you, they're not just marking you, they're blending your scent with theirs. In the wild, cats from the same colony share a communal scent. It's how they recognize family. It's how they say this individual is safe without making a sound. When your cat weaves their smell with yours night after night, they're performing an ancient ritual. They're telling the world and themselves that you belong together. This is also why your cat might sniff you intensely when you come home from a new place. You smell foreign. You've lost part of the shared scent. And that bedtime snuggle is, in part, about them restoring what was lost. And hey, if this is making sense to you, hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way to help us reach more cat lovers who truly care about understanding their cats on a deeper level. 4. They change their schedule just for you. Ever wonder why your cat seems to wake up at the same time as you and settle down when you go to bed? It's not a coincidence. It's a choice they make for you. Cats are naturally crepuscular. That means their bodies are programmed to be most active at dawn and dusk. That's when their wild ancestors hunted. That's when their instincts tell them to be alert, not asleep. So, by nature, a cat's schedule shouldn't align with yours at all. But bonded cats do something extraordinary.
They override their own biology. Researchers studying house cats found that those living closely with humans will gradually shift their wake and sleep cycles to mirror their owners.
They stay awake longer during the day. They sleep more deeply at night. Not because it's natural for them, but because that's when you're available.
Think about that for a second. Your cat's entire biological clock, built over thousands of years of evolution, gets rewritten just so they can spend more time existing in your world.
This is also why cats greet you at the door or appear right before your alarm goes off.
They've learned your rhythm. They've synced themselves to it. Not out of habit, but out of preference. 5. When they suddenly stop, listen carefully.
What does it mean when a cat that has always slept with you suddenly stops? This is what I mentioned earlier, and it's something every cat owner needs to understand.
If your cat has slept beside you for months or even years, and that suddenly changes, don't ignore it.
Cats are creatures of habit. When they break a pattern as significant as this, they're trying to tell you something.
Sometimes the reason is physical. Pain, illness, or discomfort can make a cat seek solitude.
Cats instinctively hide when they're not feeling well. It's a survival mechanism. If your older cat suddenly wants to sleep alone, a trip to the vet is worth considering.
Other times, it's environmental. A new pet, a new person, a change in routine.
Cats are highly sensitive to changes in their territory. Something that seems small to you can feel enormous to them.
And sometimes it's emotional. Cats have memories. If something scared them in the bedroom or if a conflict happened in that space, they might retreat to protect themselves.
The key here is attention. Your cat chose to sleep with you because they trusted you completely. If that changes, it's not them being difficult. They're communicating, so listen, observe, and if needed, gently help them find their way back to feeling safe.
Because that nightly ritual, it was never a small thing to them, and it shouldn't be a small thing to you. 6. They think they're your bodyguard.
Do you ever wonder why your cat insists on sleeping in one specific spot? Maybe it's right by your head.
Maybe it's near your feet. Maybe it's pressed against your back. That positioning isn't random. It's strategic. Here's something that might surprise you. Even a small, pampered house cat still carries the instincts of a predator.
And predators understand threats. When your cat positions themselves beside you at night, a part of them believes they're standing guard.
This dates back thousands of years. In feral cat colonies, members take turns watching over each other while they rest. It's not just bonding, it's survival. And your cat, no matter how domesticated, hasn't forgotten that ancient rulebook. Watch where your cat sleeps. If they choose a spot facing the door, they're monitoring the entryway. If they sleep near your head, they're protecting your most vulnerable area. They know they're small, but they don't care. Something deep in their wiring says this human is mine to protect. So would your cat actually fight off an intruder? Probably not. But in their mind, they've accepted a mission. They've assigned themselves a role, and every night they show up for duty.
7. They sense your stress before you do.
Ever had a terrible day and noticed your cat suddenly won't leave your side?
That's not a coincidence. They know something's wrong before you've even said a word.
Cats are extremely perceptive of the people they're bonded to, and science is starting to prove what cat owners have felt for years.
Your cat can read you better than you think. Studies show that cats can detect subtle changes in human behavior, body language, and even scent. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. Your movements change. Your breathing changes. Your cat picks up on all of that. They don't know why you're upset, but they know something is off.
This is why some cats become extra affectionate when their owner is sick, anxious, or grieving.
They're not just being sweet. They're responding to real signals you're giving off without realizing it. And here's where it gets even deeper. Sleeping next to you
gives them a front row seat to your emotional state.
Your heartbeat, your restlessness, your breathing patterns. Night after night, they're collecting data.
They're learning what your normal feels like. And when something changes, they notice. 8. Their purr is a physical therapy machine. You feel that warmth when they jump on the bed and immediately start that rumbling sound. It's not just a sign of contentment. Scientific studies show that a cat's purr frequency ranges from 20 to 140 hertz. This is the exact frequency range used in medicine to promote tissue and bone healing. When they lie next to you and start up this rhythmic vibration machine, they are actively transmitting healing energy to you.
They're trying to treat your aches and pains after a long day. It's a miniature, free, and love-filled medical therapy.
9. That light touch in the middle of the night is a survival check.
That light touch in the middle of the night is a survival check. Ever woken up in the middle of the night to a tiny paw gently resting on your face or hand?
It's not an accidental disturbance. When you're in a deep sleep, your breathing and heart rate slow down.
In the natural world, prolonged stillness can sometimes mean death. Especially if you use a medical device like a breathing machine, they can become extra vigilant.
That gentle touch is their way of checking if you're still okay. They're making sure the most important person in their universe is still breathing. It's a deep and subtle form of care.
10. They really will fight for you.
Sometimes they really will fight for you. Earlier we said that cats might only be standing guard in their minds.
But reality has proven things that go far beyond theory. Despite weighing only a few pounds, a cat can absolutely transform into a true warrior when their territory and their person are threatened.
Intruders might be surprised by pounces and lightning-fast attacks from the darkness.
The protective instinct can completely override fear and size differences. They don't care about their own safety when they sense you're in danger. So never underestimate the size of the tiny bodyguard sleeping soundly beside you.
11. They have an astonishingly accurate medical diagnosis ability. Science has proven that cats have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell. But the reality is even more miraculous than we ever knew. When your cat consistently presses against a specific area of your body, it might not be random. Many cases have recorded cats changing their sleeping position from the chest to the legs right after their owner had surgery.
They seem to know exactly where the injury is and where to avoid putting pressure. There are even cats who have screamed frantically in the middle of the night to wake their owner right before a heart attack struck. They don't just sense stress, they can smell the chemical changes of disease. They're performing an invisible emergency response that machines can sometimes be too slow for.
12. They are guardian angels in the final moments. They are guardian angels in the final moments. There's an incredibly sacred phenomenon that science still can't fully explain.
When a person enters the final days of their life, cats often tend to keep a constant vigil.
Even in nursing homes, cats always seem to know who is preparing to pass on. They will gently enter the room, lie down beside them, and provide the most silent comfort.
They don't need food, they don't need to be petted. They are simply there, performing the duty of guiding and soothing the pain.
They choose to accompany you until the very last breath. If you liked this video, you'll definitely like what's next. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can bring you more great content in the next video.